Hey Math 85, this is Dr. McGathy. We've just learned how to convert between fractions and decimals. Now let's use the order of operations to simplify expressions involving decimals. So the things that we need to remember is, well, what are the order of operations? From what we've seen so far, first thing you look for are parentheses. Evaluate anything in the parentheses first, and then look for exponents or roots. We haven't really talked about what roots are yet. So really look for exponents. Do those first before you evaluate any multiplication or division. And when you see multiplication and division, the rule is to do those computations in the order that you see them from left to right, which is the direction that you read. And then after you perform the multiplication and division, then you do the most simplest operations, which is add and subtract. And again, those you perform as you see them from left to right. All right, so let's go ahead and evaluate these expressions. And for these problems, what I will suggest, we can use our calculator for these. So you've got 7 times 18.3 minus 21.7. So we'll do this subtraction. And again, you can do these by hand or you use your calculator to help you. So then we'll do 7 times negative 3.4. And then we do that multiplication. So times 7. So we get negative 23.8. Okay, so for these problems, I want you to do a mix. Like maybe some of them use your calculator for, some of them don't use your calculator for, so that we don't lose our skills. So this next problem, I am not going to use my calculator. 2/3 times 8.3 minus 3.8. So first I'll do what's in the parentheses. 8 and 3/10 minus 3 and 8/10. So I'll do the subtraction. Regrouping. 13 minus 8 is 5. It's 7 minus 3 is 4. So I get a positive 4.5. And I still have to do 2/3 times that positive 4.5. So here's what I want you to remember. Even though this is a decimal, you can still write it in fraction form by putting it over 1. So really what you have here is you're going to be multiplying 2 times 4.5, and then in your denominator you'll be dividing by 3. So that's how I like to do fractions. I like to do multiply times the numerator, and then in your denominator 3 times 1 is 3. So I'll do the multiplication first. 4.5 times 2. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. One decimal point, or one place after the decimal here, so there should be just one place after the decimal in my answer. So that is 9. So this becomes 9 divided by 3, and we know that 9 divided by 3 is just 3. All right, let's do one more problem. This one I will also not use my calculator for. And again, I want you to go kind of half and half there. So 1/10 squared. Remember the exponent we're going to do before any multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So I'll multiply 1/10 times 1/10. So let's just kind of write that down, what I mean by that. 1/10 squared is the same as 1/10 times 1/10. I'll write the rest of the problem down as well. 3.5 times 0.9. So I'm going to do the square first. I'm going to multiply this by itself. So 1 times 1 is 1. 10 times 10 is 100. And now I'll also do this multiplication. That's the next thing that I'll do. So I'll multiply 3.5 times 0.9. 9 times 5 is 45. So put down the 5, carry the 4. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 4, 31. And I've got one place after the decimal here, one place after the decimal here. So in total, that is 2 places after the decimal point. So 3.15, or 3 15/100ths. All right, so now I'm not going to just add a fraction to a decimal. I have to kind of decide, do I want it keep everything in fraction form or decimal form. Sometimes decimal form is easier. So 1 over 100, so that's 1 in the hundredths place. So it's 0.01. 2 zeros in the denominator, 2 places after the decimal point. Or if you like, you can write it 0.01. And you can always double check these things on your calculator. 1 over 100 is 0.01 or 1 in the hundredths place. All right, plus 3 and 15 hundredths. All right, so we will add like places together. So 3.15 plus 0.01. Add the hundredths together, the tenths together, and the whole number parts together. So that's 3 and 16 hundredths.